Good afternoon, ma'am. First of all, I would like to thank you for your presence in our university, and we are glad to have you here for your insights and sharing us a lot of information many of us don't know. And coming to the question, I want to ask you is that, ma'am, when it comes to the financial crisis and the support in mentorship, when people don't have bare knowledge on how to start and what to start with. So, what are the support, crucially, women would like to have to start into an entrepreneurship?
I think the first thing that women need is confidence, and many times it is important to find good mentors because many women have wonderful ideas, but as you rightly said, they don't know how to take it forward. So it can be their family members, seniors in college, or other people that they come across. So, first thing I would say is to identify a mentor. Second thing is to have a strong idea, and then try to see what kind of financial support is needed, because many times when we read in the media, we think about this company getting so much funding from this VC or whatever it is. It is not always required that we should have a top-down approach. You can have a small idea, have a small seed fund, either through a grant or through your education institution or even from your own savings, and try out the idea and slowly scale up over time. But what is most important, I feel, is the guidance and the confidence to carry forward the idea.
My name is Neha Tulasi, ma'am. I am from Department of ECE. I am from Tenali. Here is a question that how does the social norms and family expectations led means a woman have to start their entrepreneurship? How does it depends?
I think in India, especially in tier 2, tier 3 cities, we still face a lot of patriarchy in the expectations. So women are often expected to put their own ambitions behind and give priority to their family. While there is nothing wrong, but I also feel that it is a pity if we don't exploit the true potential of our women. When we look at our country, we have a large number of women graduating from colleges. But if you look at their career trajectories or career paths after a decade or 2 decades, we find that many of them don't pursue their careers because of, as you were saying, societal expectations, constraints. They become busy taking care of elderly, taking care of children, and they don't give priority to their own careers. So first thing I think is that women need to be the torchbearers of the change. And when I say women, it is not only the young women, but it is also their mothers and mothers-in-law. We need all the women to support the young women together. That is the first thing. Second thing I find is that women should be proactive and strong in bringing about the change. So let us say a woman has a great business idea, has started, is doing well, but also has to take care of all the household work and all the responsibilities. It is humanly not possible. So women often risk their own health, or they give up on their business idea or career. So instead of that, I think women should form a strong network, typically with other women, and also get the buy-in of their family members, especially for married women, the spouses, because again, young women typically have young spouses. So if the men can also change their thought processes and become more supportive of the women, then I think the whole society, we have some strengths, some beautiful strengths in our strong family system that we should absolutely continue. But at the same time, all these little things we should be willing to change with the times, and that change has to be, I think, initiated by the women, and we should have that conviction and strength of mind to carry out our goals and also continue to take care of the family. So building that support system becomes very important.
Ma'am, when it comes to the government initiatives, so how will it help to, majorly a woman empowerment? So when we come into entrepreneurship, so how will the government play the major role?
I think both at the state and national levels throughout India, there is a lot of push or encouragement to women entrepreneurship today. But where the gap is that many times the governments have the funding, and there are these young entrepreneurs, especially from smaller towns, who don't know how to tap into the funding. So I think women should be more proactive in attending and also organizing. Like for example, Niti Aayog has a women entrepreneurship forum. Maybe such forums can organize events in areas like this district, not only in the metros, we should also take the initiative to express interest, bring together such things. And also, I think colleges like your college has a strong entrepreneurship cell. So I think it'll be very nice if universities can also bring in some info sessions. And we don't even need to have only physical sessions. I find, for example, Women Entrepreneurship Platform of Niti Aayog, they have many webinars that anybody can attend. Anybody, anywhere in India can register and attend. So we need to also start looking, and Startup India has many things. And as I said, at the state level, so we need to make sure that we know how to write those proposals, apply for the grants. That is one thing. One is the financial aspect. Second, again, they have mentorship. Third, they have again educational aspect, skill building, because many times we may have an idea, but we may not know how to run a business or how to translate it into a financially profitable venture. So that type of skill building also, there are many webinars that are happening, training sessions. So I think we should continue to as women be aware, and also tap into our seniors, people who have actually started businesses, make them come and talk to you, tell them, because they will have more local expertise. Like I am from Chennai, I have a general expertise about how to start a business. But coming to this particular area, Guntur, if there is another role model, like a woman who has successfully started a business, Guntur, please invite her to your college and see what they have done, what are the struggles they face. And sometimes, when you talk to other women, you also know what mistakes they made, so that you don't have to make the same mistakes in your venture also. So that is also very important.
Ma'am, what are your personal consequences while you are building your academy? And I want to know that how you managed all your, you are a best singer and you are a dancer, right?
Singer, yeah.
Yes. How you managed all your studies and all, ma'am?
So when I was young, I had great support from my parents. So that helped me manage my studies and my interest in music. And then when I started my venture, that is when it became more challenging, because I was older, I had children. So how to manage the time, how to grow the venture. So at some point, I decided to have my priorities clear. So initially, I was working in a corporate job, and I started this venture in a small way. Then I realized that doing the corporate job and doing this online academy was not possible, because I have two children, too many commitments. So I decided to quit the job, which was not a very easy decision, because when you have a job, you have a steady income. Whereas with a venture, there is no guarantee that you will get an income. But I took that risk, and I also was lucky that my husband was very supportive about it. And then I slowly grew the venture. And talking about challenges, there are always challenges with when you have your own business, because one, there is increased competition over time. So when I started doing online teaching in music 20 years back, there were not many competitors. So it was easier to get students. But then after the COVID lockdown, there were many new entrants in the field. So till we had the lockdown, we were growing really well. And even during the lockdown, it was a good growth. But the challenges post lockdown, there were so many new competitors that we had to revamp our marketing strategy, because we were losing out to bigger people who had a lot of funding. They could run advertisements, they could hire brand ambassadors. So we decided to do some interesting things. Like, as I mentioned in my talk today, we decided to make our own students and parents as brand ambassadors, where they can come up with their testimonials, they can share their own performance videos. We found that to be very effective. Then we started using social media more to put out educational content. And we found that a lot of people made use of our educational content, which was completely free. And then they referred us to their friends and family members. So these are some little things I did to ensure that I could face the challenges. And I think the larger challenge for women is to stay focused, because many times women start businesses, but they get distracted or diverted by other problems. And it's very, very important to stay focused and also to grow the brand. That is very important. Whatever you may be doing, right? When somebody mentions your brand name, it should have a positive impact in the mind of your target audience. So what is your brand positioning? As I was mentioning, for example, in my venture, in Vidya Subramanian Academy, we focus on classical art forms. And I have to be very clear about that. I can't say, okay, I'm going to add Western music, I'm going to add Bollywood songs. Even if it means that I don't grow as rapidly or I don't get that many students, if I'm clear in my goal, then over time, anybody who wants to learn classical music or dance or yoga will approach me. Whereas if I am doing too many things without a clear focus in my venture, then it becomes the goal becomes diluted, and I will again not be able to compete with larger corporates or larger players. Therefore, I will lose out. So, having a clear vision for the business and staying true to that vision. At the same time, we should be adaptable to the change. If the competition is very severe, see what innovative ways. Without, in my case, being a social venture, I don't have a lot of investment financially. So I have to come up with innovative ways which don't cost a lot of money, and that has been a challenge for me. And at the same time, because I have not invested a lot of money, I don't feel the stress. Like if I invested say 5 crores or 10 crores of my personal money, or even if I get funding from an external person, I have to be answerable to the person by showing that profit, that growth, that stress will be there. Here, because it is completely self-funded and the initial investment is not high, I can grow in a relaxed way without compromising on my vision and goals.
Ma'am, coming to the crucial problems in the start, whereas when women want to be an entrepreneur, so what are the general mistakes, especially in financial? So what are the general mistakes they make and how do they overcome it? And beforehand, how do they avoid it?
It's a very good question that you asked. When women have a startup idea, right? Many times the first mistake I think is they don't even proceed with it. They lack the confidence. They just give up before even trying. So that we should completely avoid. Secondly, I think we should have a good group, form a good team. And I think at Vignan University, you have so many bright students. So you can start having these groups of students, your like-minded peers with whom you can brainstorm these ideas, because I think it is very, very important to build a team. See, if you have funding, if you have a product, but you don't have a good team, your startup could still fail. You need to have a core group of maybe 4 or 5 people who share your vision and passion, so that as a group you can take it forward. It's very difficult for a single person, man or woman, to do it, because there will be days when you are sick, there will be many things to do, too many things to do. So forming the team is important. Now coming to the financial part of it, what women need to do is to take a step back and think through the idea. What kind of a venture is it? Because with a lot of women-led organizations, I find that they automatically think, and it's both the women themselves as well as the other investors, they think women means making food, making pickle, clothing. Those are good, but we should start thinking much beyond that. What other things? And anything which is a service-oriented thing, like how I am doing, right? The initial investment will not be very heavy because it is skill-based. So I would suggest that women start looking more and more at skill-based businesses rather than product-based. There is nothing wrong in product-based businesses, but it is difficult to make large margins, because let us say you have to buy materials worth 100 rupees to make a dress or something outfit for 200 rupees. Every time you have to put in that investment into the goods, and you need a large volume. Let us say it is a skill-based business, then you're using your skills, so you don't have to invest anything more than your time and energy. And I find that when women don't have to put in a lot of money initially, the families are also more supportive. Typically the tendency is, in a middle class household, you tell your parent or your spouse and say, okay, I need 10 lakhs to start. Most people say, oh no, it's risky. On the other hand, you say, okay, I'm going to take 1 year. I have this new business idea where I'm going to use, I'm going to build a team of, software developers, and we are going to get into, website design, or we are going to talk about helping other women build businesses on Instagram, something which is not going to require a lot of investment. You're more likely to get in the support. Or if you have a business idea that requires investment, then look at where you can get some seed funding. Okay, and there are a lot of government as well as private organizations which give seed funding to women. So start off with that seed funding, try to grow that business for a year or two, and as I said, build a good team in parallel. Because many times when we have a strong team, we will all get better ideas when we brainstorm together. So all those things will hopefully help us scale up and grow the business over time.
Ma'am, what are the key skills that are required for a woman to become a best entrepreneur in this upcoming economy?
It's a very, very good question. I think one of the most important skills to have is strong communication and confidence, because we need to be very clear in putting forth our thoughts. Okay, and when I say communication, it can be in any English, Telugu, Hindi, whatever is your preferred language. But we should be able to talk confidently and discuss our ideas boldly. That is one first thing. Second thing, I think women also need to have that perseverance and determination to work for many years on an idea. I find that many times there are breaks, especially when we get into entrepreneurship. You don't really have a manager overseeing you. So you are your own boss, right? So which means we need a lot of discipline. Like let us say we are starting a business. Somebody may come and say, hey, this function is happening. Let's all go for 2 weeks. If your business is going to be impacted, you should have the courage and the determination to say no. I have these deadlines coming up, because that is a common mistake that many women entrepreneurs make, where they think that by declining to participate in a social event or a family function, they are going to, disrespect the family. It is not so. We need to make the family members understand that a woman who's running a business or doing a job from home is also doing something equally important. Just like how they understand many times if the men are not available because of office meetings, we need to educate all the people around us that women also have these kind of meetings. Even if we are doing it, from the kitchen, it is still a meeting. So that kind of the clarity, because again I find with a lot of women entrepreneurs, they start off with enthusiasm, but they themselves get distracted. They feel, oh, my friends are having so much fun, they're doing all the shopping, why am I sitting? We should not have those second thoughts. If we decide that this is our passion, we should be able to do it. And also we should become good at time management, because many times, especially for women with children, they struggle with time management, and definitely giving quality time to the children is important. So as the venture grows, we should learn to delegate the tasks, make our younger members of the team do more, get some help at home. All these things we need to start thinking, and as we grow, we should continue to learn. Many times the mistake we make is, okay, we have an idea, it is profitable, then we stagnate. It should not be like that, because technology can change, market can change, customers' requirements can change. So we should learn to adapt and grow, and continue to learn always. Then only we can succeed and grow.
Mom, I have a question for you especially, so that it is, when I look at you, you were a chartered accountant and an MBA completer. So what motivated you to get into a full-time entrepreneur?
Again, it's a nice question you're asking. To be very honest, initially I was not planning for this. I started doing this venture as a part-time thing. When I took a maternity break, I took a 1 year off because my son was very small. And then I started doing music teaching. Then I thought, okay, this is something which I can grow. And I can build a team, and I can create opportunities for other artists also. So I think one is, the background as a chartered accountant and an MBA helped me spot that business potential. Secondly, I also realized that when I had conversations with other artists, how they were struggling for opportunities and how they were finding it difficult to monetize the talent. This is another common problem that many smart women in India face. They have a lot of talent, but they don't know how to monetize it and make money from it. And when I say make money, it doesn't mean that money is the only reason, but it is important, because when a woman is financially independent, then everybody around her respects her more. She is more confident, and her family's economic situation also improves, which is very, very important. Because sometimes women tell me, oh, I like to do this, but money is not important. And I always tell them, even if it is personally not important, you still make sure you get paid for whatever work you are doing. Whatever is your fair share of pay, you should make sure you get it. If you don't want the money, you donate it to some needy person. But don't say, I will do all this work, don't pay me. Because that is again a social conditioning, where many times women are told that, okay, earning money is not important. But when we look back at our own mothers, grandmothers, you can see how many opportunities they lost, or many decisions they could not take because they were not financially empowered. They would want something, but if the person who is the earning member thinks it is not important, they will never get that. And they all accepted it. But when you look back, right, if they also were financially empowered, they could also say, hey, this is important, I would like to get it. And actually, the whole family could have been better off. We have heard many stories where, something happens to the earning member and the woman is uneducated or doesn't have employment, the whole family struggles. On the other hand, if the woman is confident, having a source of income, even for unexpected situations, she will have the confidence to bring up the family. So all these things women need to think through and have a way where they can monetize their skills. And I think college is a great time where you not only learn your subjects well, but you also try to build on your other interest. Think about what things make you feel passionate about. As I was telling earlier today, it can be engineering if you're doing engineering, or business if you're doing an MBA, but it can also be something very, very different. Maybe you like journalism, maybe you like cooking, whatever it is. See how you can build a strong skill in whatever you enjoy, and then at some point down the line you can try to translate that into some kind of a business or a venture and give opportunities, because in our country we need to create jobs. Women should not only be content working in jobs, we should be able to create. If each woman can create jobs for 10 other women, imagine how many more people we can empower. And many times we have to have the confidence in ourselves so that we can put confidence in the minds of other women. So for that, I think that determination and sticking to the idea is very important.
If you want to motivate the young entrepreneurs, what will be your suggestions to them to become a best entrepreneur, ma'am?
I think in addition to the points we have discussed, it will be good to have a lot of general knowledge. Continue to read, look at there are so many educational websites, YouTube channels, podcasts. Be aware of what is happening in the world. Secondly, I would also say travel to all parts of India, travel to different countries when you get the opportunity. Many times I find that women are a bit shy to grab opportunities. So if there is any kind of an opportunity to participate in a competition, either within your college or outside, do volunteer. And winning is not important, but you will learn a lot in the process. If it gives you an opportunity to go to another college or another city, you will see how girls in those places think, what their ideas are, what their exposure. You will learn a lot and you can share that. So I think it's very important to get out of the comfort zone. That would be something that I would always keep telling myself also. Because at any point, right, when we start doing the same thing, we get into one comfort zone and we are a little scared to do anything outside of that. So if you overcome that fear and try some things new, and you don't have to suddenly jump from a mountain or do something wild. Small baby steps to do things that you're not comfortable with. Then over time, you will find that you are able to create a lot of opportunities for yourselves and also for your friends.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable time. And thank you so much for sharing your insights, ma'am. We are very, very motivated, actually. We're seeing you being an entrepreneur, so yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Your questions are also really good. And I am very happy that I could come to Vignan University today to talk to all of you. And you are a set of very bright youngsters, and I wish you all the very best. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you so much, ma'am.